Hi, Karen Curry Parker here with the final installment in your Life Purpose video series that I created for you this week. I'm going to keep today's lesson kind of short, and some of you may understand that my life purpose has not involved drawing, so pardon my very sophisticated visual aids today. But I want to just bring home and drive home for you a really, really important point, because when you can understand this key point, it really helps you, first and foremost, take the blame and the shame and the self-flagellation that perhaps you've perpetuated on yourself off the plate completely. You know, if you've been struggling to connect with that inner place that is your truth, your true north and your guiding force, and you don't know exactly how to find that or connect with that, you know, it's not your fault. There's a lot of really good, reasonable reasons why sometimes finding that within all the energy that you're feeling and experiencing is difficult and challenging, and why human design is such a great tool to help you without all the energy extra. Help you really go, okay, here's this piece of paper, this is a map, this is who I am, you know, here's my strategy. You know, there's a really beautiful scientific methodology that human design brings to you in your life that helps you connect more deeply with that place that is your truth, your purpose, your direction, your plan for how you can align with what you're here to do and who you're here to be. And consequently, with all of the abundance and the juice and the health and the wellness and everything else that comes along with lining up with who you really are. So when you look at your human design chart, and hopefully you have your human design chart by now. If you don't have a human design chart, please visit www.understandinghumandesign.com and you can get your free chart there. It comes with a nice little report. If you already have your free chart, whip it out and you can kind of look at this as a reference point. Your chart's going to look something like this, but it's going to have all kinds of colors and shapes on it. The most important thing to understand about your human design chart is this. Anything that's colored in on the chart is what we call defined, meaning anything that's colored in on your unique human design chart, and everybody has different stuff colored in on their own chart. Whatever is colored in is defined and consistent about you. This is the truth of who you are. Whatever is colored in, that's who you are. That's the embodiment of the vehicle that you're traveling in, the body that your soul is inhabiting in this lifetime. And it's that vehicle, that colored in vehicle, that's taking you into your life and helping you activate and fully live out your life purpose. Anything that's white on your chart is what we call open. And any place where you have openness in your chart is where you are taking in energy and information from the world around you. That energy and information is going to come from planetary movements, transits. It's going to come from the people around you. And most importantly, it comes from your family of origin. If you think about, here's your dad, here's your mom, and here's you as a kid. The people who raise you, the people whose energy you've been swimming in since the moment you got here, those people carry their own energy field. And as you were growing up in your family of origin, your energy system is imprinted with your parents' energy. So you carry within you this energy memory of your family's energy. And sometimes, because where we have openness, we don't just take energy in, we take it in and we amplify it. So wherever you have white parts on your chart, that's places where you feel other people deeply. And sometimes, because of the intensity of the depth of how you feel that energy, it's easy to get confused and think that you are that energy, when in fact you're actually just experiencing that energy and it's not yours. But because, especially, you know, because we're growing up in this energy, we're imprinted with this energy, it's very easy to go out into the world and think that this is yours. And consequently, you know, develop, along with those energies, patterns of making choices that you think you should be doing because that's how you've been imprinted, but it doesn't feel right or doesn't really generate for you the results that you were hoping for, the results that you were, you know, really anticipating would take place. Maybe you've followed all the rules of success, right? You've done everything right. You followed the formula, and still you didn't quite get the results that you were hoping for. And it might not be anything that you've done wrong. It might not be anything about you that's broken or needs to be fixed. It's just simply most of us are carrying out or living from an energy script that isn't truly ours. And here's the thing. I'm going to try to turn this without this whole thing falling on me. What I have found in my 25 years of working with people and my 15 years of coaching with people, and with over 7,000 people who I've coached, in my process of teaching and sharing human design with more than 25,000 people in the last 15 years, this one primary truth holds so much power and so much control and results in so much pain when you don't understand this. So if you're taking notes or whatever, put everything down and just listen. The greatest source of pain in anybody's life is the amount of distance that there is between who they think they are, your energy imprinting, or what we sometimes call in human design, your conditioned self, and who you really are. Meaning, the more your life is a reflection of something that you're not, the more you've created a life that's based on your imprinting, the belief systems you grew up with, the shoulds that you took in and believed were what was correct for you, those places where you carried an energetic identity that maybe wasn't even yours, and you put yourself in situations where you said yes to things you didn't want to say yes to, and no to things you wanted to say yes to, but you didn't think that you could or you should. The more you've created a life that's not a reflection of who you really are, the more pain you have. And that pain shows up everywhere. It shows up in your finances. It shows up in your relationships. It shows up in your health and your wellness, because it takes a lot of energy to maintain a facade. We eventually burn our bodies out. It shows up in your career direction. It shows up even in your ability to feel like it's okay to have a deep and enriching relationship with Source, because it influences and affects our sense of worthiness and our lovability. You are here for a very important reason, and you are beautifully unique. There is no one else like you in the world. And the more you consciously and with great deliberation understand your energy and understand the influences that have been perhaps taking you away from the full expression of the truth of who you are, the more you can really wrap yourself around this and gain mastery over who you are, how to work your energy, how to work your life path, how to create your life plan, how to line your life up with that truth. And again, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to scrap your whole life. Sometimes it just means shifting your perspective and living your life from a renewed perspective of the value and the importance of who you are and why you're here. The more you can do that, the more your life can be a reflection of who you really are. The more you can decrease that gap between your perceived self and your authentic self, the less pain you'll experience in your life, the more abundance you unlock, the more authenticity you have in your relationships and your connections, the more your heart can express the truth of who it is with courage and with power and with beauty, the more you can create the life you were designed to live, the life you intended when you incarnated in this lifetime. My wish for you and my prayer for you is that you discover the truth of who you are, the magnificence of who you are, and that you continue to actively create a life that is a reflection of that. Because here's the thing. We're like a big, beautiful puzzle. My students hate this analogy, but there's nothing greater than this. Each and every one of us on the planet plays a very important role. We have our own piece in the divine puzzle of humanity. We are only as beautiful as the sum total of our pieces. When we come together perfectly, each one of us in our right place, we are adding to the beauty of the world. So when you live out the truth of who you are and you take your right place in the divine puzzle, you are adding to the beauty of the world. But if you're trying to push yourself into a hole where you don't fit, if you've ripped off the corners of the edges of your piece because you're trying to squish it in somewhere it doesn't belong, or if you are trying to hide out and you've gotten attacked by the dog or the cat and now your piece is all gnarled and icky, you know, it's not that you're taking away from the beauty of humanity, but you're making it more difficult for that puzzle to come together. And right now we're in such an important place on the planet. We're in the midst of this powerful, amazing shift, and the world needs you to take your place in the puzzle. The world needs you to be the best expression of yourself as yourself, because it's you being you, you fulfilling that destiny that is the greatest gift that you can give to the world. Thank you for being you. Please know that we are all who we are because you are who you are, and we wouldn't be who we are without you.